Hello and welcome. I am so excited to dive in with you here on another week of up-leveling. We are going to go a little bit deeper on what an up-level is and how are you going to get through it and what is resistance. Has anyone here had any resistance before? I know I will raise my hand. And I gotta tell you, I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, and up-leveling can present itself in small situations and in large situations, and it can literally feel like your skin is crawling, and you can think about it in a way that you're going, what is happening here? What is going on? This is bad. This is not a good thing. And it's really important for you to be present with yourself. I remember years ago, I was putting on a workshop and I decided to go away to the beach for the weekend to come up with some of the content for the workshop. And I got to the place that I was staying and I could not figure out what was going on with me. This was before I really was very, very clear on what up-leveling was, or upper limiting. They're kind of the same thing. You can upper limit yourself. That will literally prevent you from getting to the next level that the universe is trying to literally experience itself through you. There is no such thing as stagnation. You are either growing or you are dying. So if you look at nature, you will see that there is not any kind of stagnation happening. Even when you think in a winter season that there is some kind of a dormancy going on, if you put anything under a microscope, you will see that something is going on all the time. Life is happening all of the time. So when these things occur, you can either go into resistance or you can go into embracing them and getting the support that you need to get through them. So here I was at the beach and I had just started coaching. It was the first workshop that I was putting on and I felt like my skin was crawling. I felt almost like it was nails on a chalkboard nonstop, and I couldn't even stand to be with myself. That's one of the worst things in the world because you're with yourself all the time, whether you like it or not. So you might as well find a way to enjoy that journey. And so I was going there to work on content for the workshop and things weren't going the way that I was hoping that they were going to go. I wasn't having as many signups as I thought I was going to have. And I really just literally felt let down by life. And I don't even know if I can pinpoint why I felt like my skin was crawling and why I was not wanting to be with myself. I'm sure at that point in my life, I still had a lot of integration to do. And there was probably a fair amount of me not liking myself or me judging myself or me criticizing myself, because when you're brought up with a fair amount of judgment and criticism and you're conditioned that way, whether that's society or your parents or mentors or team members, school authorities, anyone that you have been surrounded by literally has the ability to make an imprint on your subconscious mind. And a lot of times if it has had an impact, you will then repattern that exact process because that is what defined your normal. So in an up level, you have an ability to literally redefine your normal, both consciously and unconsciously. So something might happen. You might have an event that occurs in your life, or you might consciously be pursuing an event. For example, in this story, I was pursuing putting on a workshop. And now that I am aware of what an up level is and I've lived it so much, I can set myself up for better success because I know something big is going to happen. When something big is going to happen in your life, or you've got a next level program that you're offering, or you're putting on your own workshop, for example, or you're going to get married, or you're moving into a new house, you have to be on the lookout for self-sabotaging behaviors. And that's literally what was happening at the beach. Was I was putting on this great workshop. Of course, at the time I didn't know this, but I was going to make $40,000 in a very short period of time from the workshop. But while I was at the beach preparing for the workshop, I didn't know that. I was just freaking out about the low number of attendees and the amount of money that I was needing to pay to an events coordinator, to the hotel, a food and beverage minimum, and that was all that I could see. So take a moment and really remind yourself that even when all you can see is what's right in front of you, that if you were to take a closer look under the microscope, there is more activity that is happening. There are things that are happening right now for your highest and best good, miraculous things even, and you might not even know what they are or what they're going to look like. We have been trained by society and by the people around us to believe in our five senses only. We have not been taught to trust our intuition. We have not been taught to have faith in the direction of what it is that we desire. All of these false beliefs, like there's money doesn't grow on trees, and if you want to make a lot of money, you have to work really, really hard. They all form your future reality. So unprogramming and reprogramming these thoughts is going to have you going through the up levels much more easily. But at the time of me doing this workshop, I really only could see. I literally had tunnel vision. I didn't know about strengthening my faith in that way that I do now. I didn't know about these beliefs that were running in my head and how to reprogram them. And it literally contributed to me just having the tunnel vision and looking at what was in front of me, which was that there were like 4 people signed up for this workshop that I had thousands and thousands of dollars in obligation to pay on the back end. And it really was terrifying me. In these moments of terror, I want you to know that it is false evidence appearing real. And I have found that to be true each and every time. So when you can see through the lens of love and have a core belief that everything is happening for me in a really great way, that you will find comfort in that. And so this particular workshop ended up turning out really beautifully, but it could have been even more, I would imagine, if I had been in a place where I chose to have strength in my faith, and I chose to put that faith in the direction of seeing 30 women in that room and sitting and visualizing that. And I just didn't have those tools at the time, which is why I'm so excited for you to have all of these tools to support you in whatever is going on in your life, or whatever kind of resistance might be coming up. It's very easy to get into resistance when we start out something and we begin to have a hope for something. And then we start putting our faith in the direction of having that thing happen. And then when we get to a certain point, and that thing looks like it's not going to happen because we're only seeing through our 5 senses, we stop ourselves, we sabotage ourselves, we upper limit ourselves, and we sit there and we go, and we change the story. We take a breath and we change the story, and we start telling the story of, there's no one showing up. There's no one coming for this workshop. I don't know how I'm going to pay these bills. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then we start taking action in the direction of literally planning for our failure. That is not the way to operate in life. In fact, the way to experience miracles is to stay in the faith when things are appearing outside of you to look different than what it is that you envisioned and what you hoped for, and to stand up and change your physiology and to condition your mind to speak out loud what it is that you are calling forth, and to keep this unwavering faith within you in the direction of what it is that you desire. And when the resistance comes up, you will handle that part of yourself like you would handle a child who is misbehaving. And you will choose to take the action step anyways. You will choose to do what is uncomfortable. You will muster up the courage that is necessary for you to have that level of self-discipline in your mind and in your physiology, so that you can literally put yourself into a successful state and get done what you need to get done, to get through what you need to get through. And if you look back at the traumas and the travesties of your life, you will look and you will see, I don't know how I ever got through that. Part of what that is that you did harness some kind of courage deep within. You did harness some kind of strength deep within so that you could take care of yourself. And especially when there is a threat, that you kind of tap into this superhuman energy that allows you to get through some of the most traumatic experiences of your life. And if it was there then in the traumatic experience, you absolutely have the power to harness that energy in each and every moment.